Alright, what it do, y'all? That's why I'm showing off this Battlefield 6. I just recorded it and stuff, and I just want to not, stream the game and stuff because I seem to be more focused and more concentrated and stuff when I'm not, streaming or broadcasting the game, trying to chat with you all. So this is just a whole gameplay. He just going off. On the next map we went to New York, I was just pretty much putting in work with the LMG. I think I was on 52, 54 kills. So yeah, I was on a 50 kill streak. I think I only died. At the end, I think I only died like 11, 13 times probably. But I was like 52, 54 kills. So I was putting in work with the LMG. It's a shame all these kills I'm getting with this LMG, and it's just leveling up so slow. Now, I do understand they had some type of hardware 100% hardware XP boost a while back, and that's probably when I should have been taking advantage of. Right here, I'm just looking at the SMGs. I want to go back to the gold looking SMG, but you know. D modes can be kind of complicated. At the end game, we end up losing. We was doing all good until everybody stopped focusing on healing. Like if y'all heal, they give us more tickets and keep us alive and stuff to defend. If you all running around playing as support and stuff, like in the beginning of this map, you gonna see a majority of my team pick support. Like if you go play support, man, do your role. Y'all go see it in the last minute of this video, the last part of the video when we on the New York map. I'm running around reviving like a mother. I'm literally breaking my leg trying to revive people. I'm risking my life and everything to revive. That's how you play a medic. You just can't sit around. Wait a minute, why did I stop recording? Is it recording the audio? Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I'm editing this on the Share Factory app now. So yeah, cause the whole video I didn't have no audio. I think I added audio at the end and stuff. I was talking about how we lost and I was doing all that work and breaking my leg, having people they just not helping. Now, I know the last video I made, I was talking about. I think I was talking about, the Dead Space video I was playing now. It's a new game that came out. It seems like a lot of Western games are focusing us on and this LGBTQ stuff in it. And I wanted to discuss this and stuff while it was still fresh on my mind when I was playing Battlefield 6. It's a new medieval game came out where you got a bow here. You know how Jim Carrey had that weird looking haircut in Dumb and Dumber. I don't know if it was Dumb and Dumber one or the second one, but he had that weird little bowl cut hair. Anyway, there's a lesbian female, and it's the princess. I guess she's a lesbian too. I guess they lesbian lovers and stuff in this medieval game. She's a non-binary in the 1300s, medieval time. Medieval now in the 1300s. This is a lesbian non-binary. Now y'all all know the history of the medieval that time frame, the 1300s. They what is it, crucified? Is that the word I'm looking for? Anyway, they didn't play about that type of stuff going on. That's why Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first one, they didn't add that in there because they know in the medieval time they didn't take lightly too kindly to same-sex relationships. They pretty much crucify anybody that took parts in that. So the fact that this new medieval game come out and has this is just mind-blowing and stuff like that. It's just crazy because they trying to compete. They trying to compete with this other game. This is how Warhorse Studio was. It's a new medieval game coming out. I think it's called Knight's Path. I think it's called Knight's Path. Anyway, it's a medieval game. I thought it was Kingdom Come Deliverance, DLC for Kingdom Come Deliverance the way it looked, but it looks pretty good. Actually, I ain't gonna hate it. The comeback looks way more better than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and 1. It's I think it's first person. I don't know. I think no. I think it's third person. You actually see your knight, so it's third person. So being able to play a medieval game in third person is gonna be cool because Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, you playing in first person, which I understand the idea they was going with, same with CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2077. But being able to play a medieval game in third person is pretty cool. So yeah, I went off on this map too. Now there's another New York map too. I forgot how long these matches is. I don't know if this is the map. This might be the one. I'm not for sure, but I cannot get that bipod to work. Like once you place it down and you start moving and shooting. See how when I started shooting it got off the bipod. It just broke the mount. Like I don't get the mount, and you gonna see later on. I'm gonna put the regular bipod on. That's the one that kind of like it's kind of like a grip. It's a bipod and a grip all in one. So I'll end up switching to the bipod. You actually fold down and stuff, and that tend to work a lot better later on in this gameplay. As you can see, I end up putting in work with that bipod. Then I think I end up switching to something else. But long story short, man, they got this new medieval game coming out, and they are so heavily focused on trying to just make everything LGBTQ. Like why? And the whole reason why they're doing this is to try to throw shades at this other medieval game called Knight's Path. Yeah. And it looks way more better than this LGBTQ girl boss medieval game. I saw people playing out. I tried looking for the demo and stuff. I guess it's exclusive to PC because I couldn't find the demo anyway. I went in the demo on the PlayStation Store. I couldn't find it. So it's coming out in March. They picked the wrong time to release that game. You think people's gonna pick your game over Crimson Desert? Come on now. You releasing your game in the same month as Crimson Desert. That is so stupid. I will be getting Crimson Desert. I thought about it. I don't know what other games coming out in March because I haven't bought a game. I think the last game I bought myself was this, Battlefield 6. This is the last game I bought. No, because Borderlands 4 came out in October and this came out in November. So yeah, Borderlands came out in September, did it? And then Battlefield came out in November. So these are the two last games I bought. Borderlands 4 ended up letting me down and stuff with the end game and just lack of stuff, content to do and stuff to do. The world is just dull and boring and stuff. End game is just totally bored, and that's why I ain't been back on Borderlands 4. Battlefield 6 kind of let me down and stuff because they too busy focusing on Call of Duty players and small scale maps and Battle Royale and Battle Pass and skins, and they focusing on the wrong shit. See, when games start focusing on making money off of you, milking money out of you, I try to provide dude right there. But when companies start trying to milk you for money and stuff, they start focusing. They start focusing on the key parts of it that made their games great. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 was great because they didn't have the microtransaction. You made great ass maps. Battlefield 4 hands down had some of the best maps, even some of the DLC maps. Literally, majority of all the DLC maps was great maps. And then you come here with Battlefield 6, and the maps is just lacking. This map sucks. The next New York City map sucks. I hate all the New York City maps. I hate the California maps that came out the last season. The Fog of War map is pretty cool with this season. That's probably the only cool map they actually came out with. But back what I'm saying with this these two medieval games coming out, you got one that's LGBTQ, and then you hear the creators of the game. I guess they I don't know if they're a couple or whatnot, but they talking about they wanted to make an LGBTQ plus game because there's not many out there in the media or something. She was saying like that, like, dude, that's all the hell y'all been making is LGBTQ games. Like literally every game that's recently been coming out has been shoving this down our throat. And you can't say media because it's in everything. Look what Netflix did with the Witcher and children cartoons, shoving that stuff in children cartoons. So you can't say that this stuff is not in media and video games. It's literally everywhere. I can't watch a movie or show without some type of LGBTQ stuff shoved down my damn throat. So that woman set out and said that and stuff. It's just crazy, man. know, just y'all so heavily focused on trying to shove this stuff down our throat, and they constantly making these games. Like what I believe is when the whole COVID was going down and stuff, I think a lot of them was focusing on making these types of games. You know, that's why it's so many of them. They were so focused on making these games and stuff. Like they literally had nothing else to do, so they was focused on making these games. And as you can tell and see, a lot of these games have been failing. Dragon Age the Veilguard, Starfield, The Outer Worlds, Avowed. All these games are failing and stuff. They're trying to follow this say trend, the modern audience. This is not it, man. We don't want this in our video games. Some parts of people seem to think that Sony is going down this road with their games and stuff. They think that they're going to make when they do the remake of God of War, they think that they're gonna take all the romance stuff that Kratos do in those games and replace them with LGBTQ stuff. I don't think, like I said in the Dead Space video, I don't think they're gonna do that to Kratos. Kratos is like their bread and butter. I don't think they're gonna. And it's a established IP that's been around since PlayStation 2. Aloy, they tried that with that because that's literally a new IP by Guerrilla Games at the time. So that's why they tried it with Aloy and the Burning Swords DLC. And the last of us, that was a new IP by Naughty Dog, so they wanted to try that. You don't see they tried it with Uncharted, trying to make Nathan Drake gay. So they try to do it with newer IPs. They're not gonna mess with the IPs that built up audience and stuff like Uncharted and God of War and stuff like that, or Little Big Planet, or Killzone, or Infamous, or even Ghost of Tsushima. That's why I don't know if the new one Ghost of Yate, I don't know if it had LGBTQ stuff in. I know the actress that plays the character in that game is LGBTQ. I think she's a part of a criminal organization and stuff like that. Hint, another reason why I didn't want to pick that game up. I don't want to represent or show love or any of that. I don't want no parts to do with anything criminal organization. I know some people be like it's just a game. So what if she's in what is that, Theta? A Theta? I forgot what it's called. Theta. Anyway, I don't want no parts of that, man. I don't want to play a game knowing that this person is a part of this criminal organization, or this person talk bad about white peoples and stuff like that. I'm not racist and stuff like that. So the same thing with the people that's making this new medieval game that's with the lesbian woman. They took shots at Charlie Kirk's death. I don't want to have. The same goes with the actors in Ghost of Yate. I don't want to take part in that. I don't like people celebrating people's death. I don't care what this person done. I don't care if they racist or they believe in God. There's no reason. Now, if they are a murderer or a rapist or just going around murdering and just raping innocent people and stuff like that, then yeah, I probably wouldn't care. I wouldn't still celebrate and praise the death of a criminal or a murderer or a rapist and stuff like that, because that's not what God would do. God wants us to forgive even our enemies. As hard as it may be, you're just gonna have to suck it up and just do it. That's why none of my bullies and stuff, I try to but I wasn't bullied that much. I think I was only bullied once in elementary, but this was when I was in Minnesota, when I started being quiet and just sticking to myself and stuff. Bullies tend to kind of back off. I didn't get bullied so much when I stopped trying to be something that I'm not. And even as a grown man, I'm kind of I don't like public places and stuff like that. I tend to stay to myself, keep to myself, because that's how I stay out of trouble and stay free and out of jail and stuff. If I go hanging out with friends and partying in bars and clubs and stuff, that's how I get in trouble. That's how I got myself in trouble a lot of time when I was young, in my teenage time, hanging around with friends, getting into trouble and stuff like that. As a grown man now, I kind of distance myself from friends and stuff like that, because if I stay to myself, I don't have to worry about getting myself in trouble. So, there's a lot of stuff that's going on with video games and stuff that, it's kind of hard to speak out about the games that they're making because you get called a homophobe and stuff like that. Like the creators of this new medieval game is throwing shades at people and stuff. The people that's making the other nice game, Nice Path. They are throwing, yeah, this the map I was going off. They was throwing shots at that team that's creating another medieval game, which I prefer. I would pick their medieval game, or hell, even Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I would pick that over there because Henry still can be with a female. It ain't like they just totally removed and forced him to be gay. This new medieval game with the woman and stuff, the weird man looking ass haircut. Even when I was watching somebody play, she was attacking people, and the enemy was calling her a boy. Like, they literally think that this is a boy because of the hairstyle, and she ran armor. Because back in medieval, women did not wear full plate knights armor like that. There wasn't no female knights in the medieval. You look up the history of medieval, there was no female knights. So the fact that they threw this shit in the game is just, and they want to go with the haircut and talk about history. What is it? What did she say? History, accurate to the history or something like that. Anyway, no, because you will know that women nice and stuff is not accurate to the history. So you can't sit there and say because you got the old cut haircut and stuff, you're sticking to the tradition of medieval. You're not. Because if you know there wasn't no LBGT, hell, let alone non-binary nights, let alone female. So you're lying to yourselves. Same goes with Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first one, Warhorse. They stuck to the tradition of the medieval, stuck to the lore and stuff, kept it 100 and stuff like that. But to try to keep up with the trend, keep up with modern audience and stuff like that, and the Sweet Baby and all this woke LGBTQ shit, they shoved all that stuff into the second game. I hate when companies do this. The first game be all cool. So there's people that's having doubts about Grand Theft Auto 6, me including. They already talked about it's rumors and stuff. And I hope this is just rumors that that Rockstar is going to have pride parades and pride rainbow road walkways and stuff like that. Nobody wants to see that, man. We just recovering from that. They started painting over those rainbow sidewalks and stuff like that, crosswalks and stuff. So the world is healing, man. We need to get out of this stuff. That's why at the end of that Headspace video, I said that America needs laws against this stuff. You see why? Because this shit is getting outrageous. They running around just forcing their sexuality onto people, man. Like, your sexuality does not need to be praise and stuff on government facilities and going to children's schools and stuff like that, making children cartoons and books, teaching innocent children that don't need to be focusing on that boys being with boys, girls being with girls. They need to focus on educating themselves and being better because they are the future. They don't need to be worrying about same-sex relationships, but the LGBT communities was so aggressive targeting going out to kids. It's a reason why I've been talking about this subject so hard and so bad the way I have on my channel recently because of this. When they start going after the children and just start going out rubbing their daggone sexuality into normal people like myself face, that's when it became an issue with me. Yeah, back then when I was growing up, I knew gay people. I didn't say nothing to them. I say to myself, I didn't even care being around them. Now if I'm around them or see this stuff, I'm kind of disgusted by it now because the first thing come to my head, man, I can't believe y'all trying to get kids to do this. So trying to get kids to change their sex, or little boys going into girls' restrooms and stuff like that. Hell, grown men going into little girls' bathrooms and stuff like that. It was a father and daughter speaking up at a board meeting at school and stuff about boys entering the girls' bathroom and stuff. The school was actually allowing this. You see how bad this shit got. Now you see why Nigeria, Uganda, Egypt, and stuff like that, has laws against this. Uganda, I said that. You see why they have laws against this? Because they saw what the fuck it was doing to America. Men going into women's bathroom. Men going into little girls' bathroom. 6, 7-year-old. Hell, 3, 4, 5-year-olds. Grown men going into their bathrooms. This shit was beginning to be dangerous for women and little girls. By having men that pretend they can just say I'm trans and be allowed to enter the women's facilities and invade their privacy. and men can overpower women. This was scared me about this. I was like, man, this got to stop. I'm glad Trump did something about it because these men being transgender, going into women's sports, little girls. I saw little girls in Olympics and stuff like that got their records broken and lost and stuff as a swimmer. Trans beat the girls and stuff like that. I was like, man, this shit is getting outrageous. And I see why other countries have laws against this shit because they know the dangerous road this shit can lead to. And this is a touchy subject. I know. And I don't care. I'm not the one that's go hold back and kiss ass and stuff like everybody else does in America. I'm not gonna say everybody because there's some people that the dude I was watching last playing that new medieval game with the lesbian, non-binary lesbian and stuff. He was talking about this stuff too. He was talking about when he saw the character going to a church and stuff like that. He said you need to pray to God and then he was just saying God wants you to find a man. He wants you to take that arm off. He wants you to put on a dress, be a wife, stuff like that. So he's pretty much like me. I'm not gonna sit back and just not say nothing because y'all see I was going off here, boy. But I'm just not gonna sit back and just sugarcoat this stuff, man. I'm gonna speak my damn mind, especially when you're talking to the kids. Like if you motherfuckers want to going after the children, man, I wouldn't be even messed up about what you do. Then you turned the whole mont and made it pride. That shit. Yeah, boy, I almost died right there. My LMG was empty, I think too. See, yeah, my LMG was empty, and I think that revolver loaded a little bit more faster than LMG. That's why I stuck with it. But dude just didn't know what he was doing. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just like I said in the Dead Space video, I do wish America have laws against it because if we had laws set in place for this, Charlie Kirk would still be alive. All these school shootings that have been going on wouldn't have never happened and stuff if we had laws against this stuff. Because this stuff, this trans people, this is a mental illness, man. The fact that a man dressed up as a woman, got his sex changed, all of a sudden think that he can get pregnant. Stuff like that is mental, man. For you to think that you're a man and you can get pregnant, God designed women to get pregnant, not men. So you think because you get a woman's vagina, all of a sudden now you can get pregnant. And I was hearing a dude was breastfeeding a baby they adopted and stuff. It's like, man, this shit is weird. Like, trans people should not, hell, let alone gay people should not be able to adopt children, man. Because that's just go brainwash that more generations of kids to grow up to be gay. We don't need that. That's why I never understood in post-apocalyptic movies like The Walking Dead that you have gay people in it. The world dies. Zombies kill everyone. Women need to be with men, having babies, be populating the earth, that the zombies or the virus or whatever the outcome may be. That is the main focus. Men getting with women, impregnating women, and repopulating this dead earth that was overrun by a virus or zombies. I never understood they shoving gay shit into a post-apocalyptic movie. It makes no damn sense to me. So man, I don't know. The reason why I'm on this subject, man, because we got another daggum game that's taking, just like what they did with Dragon Age of Velgar, they added transgender surgery scars and all this stuff in a fantasy RPG with dragon and magic. And then now you got this medieval game and a non-binary lesbian as a knight. And they had the nerves to throw up accuracy, history, staying true to the history and stuff like that, whatever you want to call it. And you told it not. Because if you knew medieval times, they didn't take kindly to that type of behavior. They, let alone and not take kindly to women running around in full-plate armor. Then you look at this game, this woman is wielding a long sword. Long swords are fucking heavy. And she wielding this sword like a man. That is not, it's sticking to the history. Historic. Them swords are heavy. I held a long sword before. That motherfucker is heavy. Long head swords are heavy. If you go and play Kingdom Come, what is Kingdom Come 1 and Kingdom Come Deliverance, notice when you get a long sword, it requires Henry to have more strength. When he got a short sword, all it required is agility. Long swords require strength. So the fact that this lesbian non-binary woman, this new medieval game, is wielding the long sword so easily with one hand, with no upper body strength, just blows me away. It's like, man, here we go with another LBGT game breaking away from trying to shove something that doesn't need to be shoved. Like, why, man? Why are we doing this? Why are we constantly making these games? You would think that something would click in their head, be like, man, these games keep failing. We keep getting 100. Like this game the demo got over what, 90, 100 players? That's not good. That's not looking good for a demo. You only drew in 90, 100 players. That's not good. You got High Guard that failed, Concord that failed. I'm pretty sure that Horizon, what is it called? Hunters Gathering. I'm pretty sure that's gonna fail. The God of War 2D game they made, no thanks. I like Kratos. I like the mature Kratos, the blood and gore, that's the Kratos I like. I don't like this cartoony 2D platform type stuff. No thanks. I prefer the mature God of War, slicing heads, slicing bodies in half, pulling enemies apart and stuff like this, slicing big old trolls in half and shit like that. That's the Kratos I like. Like the way he took out Hades in God of War 3 was crazy, man. Gets bashing him like that. With his own weapon. It's just that's the God of War I like, or how he took out I forgot the God of Sun. I forgot Helios, how he took him out. He just kept pounding the dude, just beating the dude. And then he ripped his head off and used it as a light, as a lantern. That's the Kratos I like. I don't want this 2D platform crap. So, that's why I ain't bought that game. No thanks. I wait for God of War Trilogy to come out. Just pray that Sony them don't mess it up by trying to cater to modern audience. As y'all can see the scoreboard, I'm pretty up there, man. Yeah, I was doing pretty good in this game. But we ended up losing in the end because, everybody, I see so many people walk by bodies. Like I was running by just a bunch of bodies and stuff. I'm looking at other matches just run by me, run by other players. They're not focused on reviving. Like if you focus on reviving, we wouldn't have never got overtaken in the end. You can see I was doing my part. I'm all the way at the top of the scoreboard. I was doing my job. I was reviving like a mug. You can see I got 24 assists. That means I got 24 revives. Now assists come off if you assist a teammate. Like if you shot an enemy and the teammate finished him, I think that counts as assist too. But I know I got a lot of revives too. Should have looked at the scoreboard, but I know I got a lot of revives at the end. But man, I just wanted to talk about this stuff, get this stuff off my mind and stuff like that, man. I'm just not gonna be the one that suck up and kiss ass. You can call me a homophobe. You could come after me. You could target me. You could call me names. You could call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. Yeah, if you want to attack me or take my life because of this, because that's what y'all do. When y'all get in y'all feelings, anytime somebody talk about the LBGT community, the first thing they go to is violence. Y'all ever notice that? They always go to violence. That's the last thing Charlie Kirk was talking about. It's just sad, man. And then they get on social media and make fun of this man's death. You're going straight to hell. You're going straight to hell. I don't care what this man done, because his belief in God and stuff and all this stuff with the LGBTQ got on your nerves, and y'all praising his death is just sick and evil. And you deserve to go to hell. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. But going on end this, wrap this up, going on and edit this video, try to upload it to
Dude don't
from Chef
believe in
Factory
reviving.
to
You know, see,
YouTube.
I'm
If it let me
sacrificing
do it
myself
this
to
way,
revive my
hopefully
teammate,
it
but they
will.
can't return the
If not,
favor, man.
then
Shit's
I gotta
crazy though, man.
find
I was going ham in
a
this
flash drive
motherfucker,
and
y'all
save
would
it
say.
onto that and try to upload it
I
that
was
way.
going ham.
But
54 kills, 12 deaths. Assists 24, you know. So I don't know.
yeah, I think I was talking at that part. I was talking about how good I was doing and stuff. I don't know what I unlocked like that. I don't know if that's that new LMG or it's just some stuff from my LMG. But y'all take care. I'm out.
PlayStation